Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com. This is Texas Podcast Massacre.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, is my on-the-lam co-host, Nate.
What's up?
And returning for this very special episode, we have Lisa back.
Yay!
She lives.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So Damien's with the babysitter today.
Yeah, thanks to the Castavets for watching him for the night.
Awesome. Yeah, nothing wrong there. You know, he's fine.
No, he's fine.
Well, each week on Texas Podcast Massacre, we take a look at a different horror movie. We debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victim, who's usually someone that is not what we would call a horror fanatic like Nate and myself are. This week, we're making a quick pit stop before we hit the exit to hell. We've got about, one stop left?
Yeah.
And we are picking up a very special guest. Coming from the Fantasy Footballers podcast, please welcome Mike, the Fantasy Hitman Wright.
Well, I'm glad to be here. This is pretty exciting for me. It's not super common knowledge of the reason I'm the guest on the show, and it's part of the past. I'm proud of my work, and it's almost. This is definitely the first podcast where I wasn't brought on to talk about football. Yeah. So this is it's a unique situation for me.
Yeah, so we're not going to get you totally out of your element. We have a couple little football related stuff. We'll
fair enough.
We'll throw it your way. I guess before we get into the movie review, I did want to ask. So, would you call yourself a horror fan? Do you typically like horror movies, or? I
would say I am a casual horror fan. I enjoy them. I like slasher movies. I like some of the newer horror movies that have come out. It's a little bit difficult because my wife is very anti horror movie. She can't handle them, especially when it comes to supernatural and home invasion. Those she can't watch them. So I miss a lot of them, and if I get to check them out, I somehow have found myself with 2 hours. So I'm like, oh, sweet. I'm gonna watch one of these horror movies right now. But I try to keep up, but I would not call myself a super fan. Just I enjoy them very much, though.
Okay.
What's been your favorite one lately that you got to watch?
My favorite one lately was It Follows.
Yeah,
that's
great.
With and I heard about it because we're not friends or anything, but Rich Vreeland, who goes by the pseudonym of Disaster Piece, he did the soundtrack for it. And so that's how I knew about the movie. I was like, what the heck? Rich got a soundtrack? Because if Disaster Piece is chiptunes galore, and it's fantastic work. I mean, he's a super, super talented guy. Do you guys play video games very much?
Yeah, Fez.
He did Fez.
Yeah.
Fez and the Fez soundtrack is incredible.
Yep.
But so that's how I learned about that. And that was one of those things that finally popped up on Netflix. And it was, okay, the kids are asleep. I said, okay, wife, I gotta go check this out. So I watched it, and I liked it, man. It spooked me a couple times, so it did its job.
Awesome. Yeah, no, It Follows is great. We haven't done.
Yeah, we should. That should be a future episode.
We need to throw that on the schedule sooner than later.
We need to get someone from Detroit for that episode because then get a local person for that one.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, cool. Well, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. Normally we have a debate question, but instead I think we're going to play a little game right now.
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game.
Oh, Lemmy.
I was just gonna like
rest in peace.
Why is Lemmy shouting at me? Ace of Spades.
Well, it's time to play the
fantastic.
game. That's why.
If Lemmy was shouting at everyone, I think people will get more done. That's my personal opinion, but that's just me.
I know why he didn't become like a personal coach.
Yeah, he should have been like just an inspirational speaker, like touring the country.
Get your taxes done. You know, I mean, just it could have been anything.
The new Tony Robbins.
Exactly. Yes.
Stop. Just stop doing it. Yeah.
Exactly. So we thought we'd put a little spin on our debate question this week, since we had you here. We're going to do a little fantasy horror draft. So very similar to any kind of fantasy football draft. We'll call this a performance-based league. So kills for a touchdown, same thing. That's really the focus. I tried to come up with something for like PPR. We had like points per slash.
Yeah. Point per slash. Yeah.
Point per scare. We had a whole bunch.
Teens per movie. You could do that.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of money in this for someone who has the time to really work the rules. But for now, we're just going to go just kills. So we're going to do snake draft. I don't think I told you this ahead of time, but obviously, Mike, the number one most important thing before you start drafting is naming your team.
I was not prepared for a team name, so I'll try and come up with one.
You can go last. We'll
go last. So, all right. I'll give us draft.
Well, I want that 101 pick. I mean, there's a clear.
No.
This is body count.
It's random. We're gonna randomly select the number.
Okay.
All right. So number 3, that would be Nate. Nate has the first pick. All right.
Wow.
Nate, what is your team name?
My team name is Choking Jay Cut Her.
Oh. Okay.
No, that was bad. All right.
It's what happened to the city of Chicago, where I'm from. So I was gonna go with that. Oh man!
All right, so if you're gonna number 1 pick, who do you?
Yeah, this is
the world is your oyster.
So I'm gonna pick. So we're Texas Podcast Massacre, and I would be remiss if I didn't pick Leatherface as my number 1 pick. I'm gonna put him on the. I'm gonna make him a 2-way player. Put him on the O and D line. Just pushing people.
Wow.
Maybe stick a chainsaw on the field. I don't know, but he's a big. He's a big Texas boy. He's a big Texas boy. Put him on the line. Should be set.
Makes sense. All right. So there you go. So Leatherface, I think, solid number 1 pick. Looks like I am second. So my team was Don't Stab Me, Bro. I'm picking Jason Voorhees.
Jason Voorhees. Okay,
pick.
Jason.
If we're going kills, I mean, he's killed everyone.
That's why I wanted the 101.
His
body count has to be the highest, right?
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
12 movies.
And it doesn't matter what team he goes to play for. Some players are situational. Jason can go to Manhattan. He's still going to murder people. He can go down.
Jason's already been a free agent in Manhattan. He can play anywhere.
Yeah,
okay, I got it.
He is system independent. So
okay,
done.
What position does he play? What position does Jason play?
The one that stabs everyone.
Okay.
Wide receiver. He's running routes. I think. Or running back. He'd be a running back.
Okay,
he'd be a traditional running back, I think.
Running back?
Yeah. Well,
would he be a defender, like chopping down
the fridge? He's like
a walking back.
Walking back.
Run?
He's like,
this is like old school football.
This is like playing the fridge parry. You're playing the fridge parry on every down. It doesn't make any sense.
He's going to get 4 or 5 yards every cut. So
that's true. Okay.
Handing him the ball.
Okay.
That's it.
Wow,
man.
So 4 yards and a cloud of blood is basically what you're saying. All right.
All right, Lisa, you randomly got the next pick. So
okay, so my team names Don't Call Me a Slasher. And I'm gonna take Freddie.
Oof.
Yeah.
Freddie Krueger.
Oh,
yeah.
That's my pick.
Sorry, Mike. He's my quarterback, though.
You're going to put him as quarterback?
He's a quarterback.
Yes. Okay, let me tell you why.
Deflate the ball every time he touched it?
Let me tell you why. Most of these other guys are the strong, silent type, okay? He's not. He's going to call audibles on the field. He's going to lead a team.
Very creative.
Yeah.
I like it.
He's in the nightmares of the defense.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So now you guys you've got me thinking about this now in a different way. I thought we were just trying to get people who we feel like they're going to be good at killing, but now we're plugging them into actual NFL teams.
Sure.
Just puts a completely different twist on it. And I mean, I've got to call an audible on my pick now, and it's not a name. So hopefully that I'm not breaking the rules or anything over here, but I got to take, for my running back position, I got to take one of the zombies from World War Z.
I like it.
Oh, okay.
I like it. Solid.
It's not I guess I consider it a horror movie because it's zombies or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like the stamina is literally 100. they don't get tired.
Yeah.
They feel no pain. So as long as I can figure out how to communicate the situation that he has to take the ball and run with it, I think that this particular zombie
Don't run that way. Run the other way. No, you got that's solid.
he'll never get tired.
Hey,
It's
you
incredible.
Don't have to worry about him being benched one week. He's just going. I love it. That's a great pick. All right. Well,
Yeah, no ego on the field at all. Yeah.
now, Mike,
Not much going on between the ears.
now, what's your team name?
Oh, and I'm trying to come up with a good player pun, but I cannot. So that means you have to default to like Slashy McSlasherface.
I love it.
Slasher face.
That's good. All right. Well, snake draft. So that means you're back up. All right. Top of the second round.
Ooh, top of the second round. I'm gonna take the queen from Alien.
Oh, the
Solid.
Queen Xenomorph.
Yep.
Yes, because I think that's the very strong, very dominant. The same way that Freddy Krueger would be a good quarterback. I feel like the queen would be a good leader for my team. So maybe she's just my head coach. Maybe she's not even on the field at all.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's smart.
No. They have a coach position in some leagues. I haven't figured out how the
They
scoring
do.
works.
They have-
but-
Someone's got to point the zombie to run the right way. I mean, yeah, that's
there you
for
go.
sure.
Well, yeah. And I would think they'd run for a big queen xenomorph. That's solid. Okay.
Yeah.
You get points for
Plus-
how cool your hoodie is. Is that how that works?
Plus,
Oh, yeah.
plus when she comes out
She's
on
a
the
big
field,
hoodie.
when she runs through the tunnel, I mean, you can play Queen songs at the same time. I mean, you're getting like
Oh,
instant
that's my
built-in
jam,
stuff.
man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Perfect.
Ready.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
We are the champions. Run out of the tunnel with the Queen Xenomorph running. Or you're golden.
Lisa, all right. What's your second round pick?
All right, this is probably too early in the draft, but I'm gonna go
Oh,
for
reaching.
it anyway.
You're already reaching.
I'm reaching. Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go Chucky. Chucky.
That's terrible.
It's not terrible.
Got a doll in the second
Hey.
round. Oh no.
Hey,
He's gonna
make a
cutting an-
fantastic
cutting
running
ankles.
back.
Yeah.
A running back?
Yes.
He's like 2 feet tall.
That's right.
So he's
Have you ever
slippery.
seen
That's
his
right.
Situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. His little pitter patter on those movies.
Yeah.
He's got quick feet.
We have seen some strong running backs in the league that are tiny guys and they just go.
He is the Darren Sproles.
That's
of-
right.
No, he's not. No,
Yes, he
no,
is.
he's
And a
not.
little bit more ginger, but that's fine.
He's slashing low, okay?
The ginger Darren Sproles is basically what you're saying.
Yes.
This sounds like a person that doesn't exist.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Man, y'all took some good ones. All right, so my turn. I'm gonna take Pennywise, and as my QB
From
I think-
It, yeah.
yeah,
of
from
course.
It. So I mean, he's really focusing. He's only really effective against children, apparently, but still,
Yikes.
still, I'm gonna go with that. Clown.
So
scary,
what position is he playing? Is he playing next to Jadavian Clowney?
No, actually, that was pretty solid. That was kind of a solid one. Yes, he would be.
Okay.
No, he'd probably run routes. I'd have him wide receiver.
Oh, he's wide receiver?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just be standing there with his balloons. All right, Nate, who you got?
Well,
I mean, the Pennywise is going to have the best touchdown dance, though.
Oh, you know his touchdown celebration.
yeah, he'll
Yeah.
morph into
Shit.
something. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I got my lineman first with Leatherface. So my second pick, I'm gonna have the Predator playing safety.
Ooh.
Yeah, taking angles.
Does he have his shoulder cannon?
Let's say yes. I don't know.
Even better.
Yeah, he got good angles. He's good at targeting people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably for
That's true.
penalties, but whatever. I'm okay.
And he can be invisible.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
You think a player's wide open, and then boom, the predator is there.
Exactly.
That's a
So
problem.
I'll go the Predator. He seems like a great defender for sure.
All right, well, now your third round pick.
Oh shit, I'm right back.
You're right back.
All right, so obviously you got to have some sort of offensive firepower here. So, for my quarterback, I'm going to go with Dracula. He's old.
Interesting.
He's old, but he knows how to command forces.
Any particular? You're going to go old Gary Oldman, new Gary Oldman? You're going to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Bela Lugosi. It's Dracula.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go Christopher Lee Dracula.
Ooh, okay.
The schedule is not going to be to you unless you get all primetime games.
He can only play night games. That's true. Shit. As long as the lights in the stadium aren't UV lights, we should be okay.
Yeah, you got to go. You have to be a dome team. It's done.
That's true. But he's old. He's crafty. He's been around for a long time. A lot of mileage. He's basically the Tom Brady of horror QBs. So I'm gonna go with Dracula.
No.
And his boss is, I guess, the devil, which would be Bill Belichick. I mean, it totally fits. So it should be good.
There you go. All right. All right. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go a little different. I'm gonna go with the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. He's got wings.
What?
So just aerial assault all day, air raid offense with that guy.
A literal air raid offense.
Yeah.
It's like Arena League almost levels of offense coming from this guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be great. Solid. Can't stop us.
Okay.
Lisa.
So with my next pick, I'm gonna take the Leprechaun.
Do you have a rule on your team for picking? You can't have anyone over 3 feet tall.
No, and I'll tell you why. Because we don't have enough fun in the league anymore. Okay, he's gonna bring the fun back into the league. All right.
Okay, can you explain that? Can you elaborate? Can you expand? Can you expand on this? Why is the Leprechaun bringing fun into the league?
Because he's got the most awesome puns. What, have you not seen Leprechaun?
But is the camera going to zoom in so the Leprechaun can say a pun every time he scores and then zoom back out?
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's going to be like the XFL. It's going to be more like that. You're gonna have.
So you're saying the Leprechaun is like the Terrell Owens?
Yes, he's T.O.
Of the league. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty much.
That is.
If nothing else, he's going to be distracting.
So last 2 picks.
Okay. Okay. With my first pick on the turn here, I'm going to take Jeff Goldblum from The Fly.
Oh, nice.
I didn't even think about that. Solid.
Yeah, because I mean, at different points of the game, he's going to have different skills. Either he's a superpowered human, or he literally can fly. And I don't think you're going to catch him unless you have some sort of very long reach. And then
maybe a predator could take tackle.
Right.
Maybe.
But yeah, I got him. I'm going to play him at wide receiver, and then just the value fell into my lap. This is a situation where you just got to take this player. So Michael Myers is still available.
I knew it.
Yeah.
On the board, so I have no choice but to take the William Shatner mask. Is that a true story? You guys heard this?
I've heard the rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know if it's an actual. Yeah, the mask is based off William Shatner, like plaster mold or something. That's where they got it.
I've never heard that even.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if it's from Star
I've
Trek.
heard that's true, which makes him even scarier. So I will take Michael Myers.
Wow.
That's good value.
Sounds believable.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing with your pick, I would say, the Fly one. You know, you have to hopefully overcome the mid stretch where he's just vomiting up everywhere.
Yeah, he's
like
situational.
He's really just mid transfer. He can't move. He's just crawling around, puking everywhere.
But the vomit is dangerous.
It is. If he gets it on something.
Imagine he pukes on the ball. I mean, that's a situation.
Well, if he gets the
right
leprechaun
there.
as he's running, I mean, the leprechaun's just gone at that point.
Yeah, it's all about matchups, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
okay.
Very matchup based, but it's still a solid pick. All right, Lisa, final pick.
All right, with my final pick, I'm taking the unicorn from Cabin in the Woods.
What is happening? Could Chucky and the leprechaun both ride the unicorn? Because they would fit.
Yes.
They would fit.
Yeah. It's no one's gonna suspect a unicorn.
Wait, is the unicorn the kicker? Hold on.
You gotta save your kicker for last. So no, I think he'd be a solid running back for sure. I don't think anyone's gonna mess with him. Pretty much.
I don't even.
There's a problem with holding the ball.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
This is like this is like Air Bud 4 or something with like a unicorn. I don't even know what's
an Air Bud reference. We did it.
Yeah.
I mean, we can pretty much wrap it up now.
I don't know. Dang.
All right, my last pick. I needed a quarterback, and I've learned you don't need to draft a high value quarterback early.
Yeah, you've been listening to the fantasy footballers.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
I'm picking John Doe from 7. The dude only gets caught because he turns himself in. He's super meticulous, very detail-oriented, understands routes, understands his evacuation moves. He knows the field. He knows all the players.
Wow.
That is a field general.
So John Malkovich from 7.
John Doe.
Well, yeah, but yeah. Wow.
That's my...
He really keeps his head on a swivel, too. Or other people's head on a swivel, I guess. Wow.
He's not very athletic.
He just needs pocket. He just has to keep in the pocket and just knows when to dump it off quickly.
This is like you picked the Kyle Orton of the horror draft right now.
I was going to go with Chad Penny.
That also.
Oh yeah.
Which Big Ten school do you want to pick for? I mean, either way, yeah, it's basically the same thing. The John Navarre of the draft here.
All right, Nate, take us home.
Jesus. Well, I could definitely beat that. I got a QB, I got a lineman, I got a safety. I guess this is really cheating, but as a running back, someone I'm looking for someone who could truck people, who could run people over. And who's better than that than the car Christine from the movie Christine? I mean, if you want to run people over, literally get in a vehicle.
Wow. I'm disappointed I didn't pick anything from Maximum Overdrive after that.
That's true.
Well done.
Christine was easier. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to truck, you hit the truck stick, it's basically every single time. So that's
just play Madden 18 with Cam Newton.
Exactly. That's what I'm doing.
Look, I'm in the
right stick is getting forward the entire time. That's how this works. So
all right. Well, that ends the first official horror fantasy draft.
I would play this video game. Like someone make this with all of these characters. I will pay infinite dollars for this. Someone kickstart that. I don't know. That sounds great.
I don't know. There's got to be a way. Like I think you pick like up to a certain number of movies for each of these, and you just count all the kills, and that's how you get it. So that could work. We have to put some more thought into this.
Yeah, like Lisa's team, you're like, I can't even see the pixels for all of her people because they're all 1 foot tall. Like I can't even see them. What's happening?
So if we're counting kills, do I get all the kills from my World War Z zombies? Because then it's the population of the world.
That's true. Or do you get like the Michael Jordan of the zombies, who's got the most individual?
Right, just the best one.
I think you'd have to go the Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Of the kills in this case.
That's still high. That's high though.
Bill the zombie.
Yeah, Bill the zombie.
He did well.
Yeah, had a solid year. His constant year.
Yeah. He went to a great school, great coaching. The zombies really
has
crushing
all
it.
the intangibles.
Yeah. Great team player. Yeah, I mean, you really can't go wrong.
Oh, all right. Are y'all ready to jump into this movie review?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. This week's movie of the week is Exit to Hell.
Enjoy our screen attractions in the comfort.
It's showtime.
It's gonna be a good show tonight.
This guy, he come in and kill everybody in my club. Huh?
We split up in TJ. This one's gonna bring some heat.
Hey, where the hell are we?
Just been following the road.
So can you point to the spot on the map where we are and tell me how to get to the interstate?
God damn, son, you really lost.
We don't just end up in Redstone by accident.
There's someone here you need to meet. Howdy, Sheriff.
Did you just play the whole movie?
Practically. I did. There's not a whole lot of trailers for me to choose from for this one.
Okay, that's fair.
Shocking. So, at the beginning of every episode, we ask our unsuspecting victim to give a synopsis of what the film is. So, Lisa, if someone asked you, what is Exit to Hell about? How would you describe this movie?
It's about a bunch of sinful morons who have broken GPSs and pay dearly for it.
Yeah,
Wow. It's like a Garmin ad. Wow.
Make sure to download your offline.
Yeah, Tom. Jesus. All right.
So Nate, what are some facts you can tell us about this one?
Yeah. So we have the person who did the music for the movie right here.
I'm sure your audience they were probably wondering, what is this buffoon doing on your show?
No, of course not. We have a lot of buffoons. Don't worry.
It's finally out. I did the soundtrack.
Fun.
Yes.
Right. So let's jump into that real quick.
Yeah. Let's do that first.
So first off, when I was watching the credits and I was trying to find your name, and then I had to rewind it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Who? Mike Awesome." So how did the name Mike Awesome come about?
There was a time period of my life where I was going to rebrand my self for music and game audio. Mm-hmm. And I mean, my name is Mike Wright. Google Mike Wright. There's a bajillion of us.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And so I was just trying to come up with something that just is ridiculous, and you will remember it. And apparently there was a WWF wrestler named Mike Awesome as well.
Yep.
So it didn't work out the way that I had hoped it would.
Aww.
Oh, man.
So you were trying to Ocho Cinco yourself.
Basically, I was just trying to find a way that people could remember my name and easily find me on Google. Yep. But now they find you find a gigantic buff man instead of me.
I had to check it too. I was like, is that mine?
Yep. No, that was me. That's where I was going with, and then it was Mike Awesome lived a short, dare I say, awesome life.
Well, yeah. I mean, the brightest stars burn out the fastest.
Yeah,
right?
it's true. He lasted about 3 months.
You burned the candle at 4 ends on that one.
So Mike, you're our first guest. So normally our guests on the show are typically just folks who aren't really horror fans, who kind of make them watch a movie and talk about it, make fun of it, riff on it. You're the first guest we've had that actually been involved in one of the movies we review. So can you talk about that experience? So how did you get involved with doing the sound for this movie?
So I knew the person who did the sound design. I had done a few things with him and I did some studio musician work for him. So they just, one day out of the blue, he called me. He was like, "Hey, I got this buddy, Robert Conway, he's the director and writer and all this stuff. Said they need someone to do music and they want to do a rock soundtrack. So we thought of you." And I thought, okay. At this time, I was a full-time college student and I needed money. And it's something I'd always been interested in, a musician, lifelong musician. And I thought, well, that would be super cool to do a movie, to actually do a soundtrack. So I met with him. Robert's really good dude, really passionate. So I signed on to do it. And reminder, I'm a full-time college student. So I'm going to class 5 hours a day from it was like 5 to 10 or 6 to 11 at night. I can't really remember. And so the original plan was I have a couple months to do this. And then maybe a week or so after I had signed on, where I get this call from Robert. He's like, "Hey, man, there's a horror film convention coming up, and we really want to get the movie out." The movie was actually called Sickle originally. That's some insider information for you.
Sure.
We want to get Sickle into it. And I'm like, "Okay, well, when's that?" He's like, "Yeah, it's in 2 weeks."
Oh,
I'm like, dear Lord.
Yeah.
So I'm going from never scoring a movie ever to being, I have my full-time college and all that work. And now I have to do an entire soundtrack in 2 weeks. I'm like, "I got you, man. Don't worry about it. I'm going to do this." So those were really, really, really long days when I'm just busting my butt trying to crank out as much music to picture as I possibly can. But we did it, and we got it out, and I'm pretty happy with my soundtrack for the most part.
I have to say, when we were watching it, because Mitch and I listen to the Fancy Footballers, and so we're watching the movie,
You may have heard something.
Yes. And all of a sudden the intro song comes on and we both looked at each other and went, huh, yeah, we know that one.
Yeah. So the main intro is actually the intro for the fantasy footballers, because when the fantasy footballers was starting, it was just like, we have such little time to do this. And I was like, oh, dude, I got this cool theme song I really, really like. And so I did clear with Robert, just so people know. I said, hey, man, I got a podcast. Can I use this song? He said, yeah, sure. So that it's probably created a weird emotion for you.
It did. It did.
You had just seen two people brutally murdered, and then the fantasy footballers theme song starts.
I was waiting for the voice.
I know, just in my head. Welcome to the Fantasy Footballers podcast.
To Sickle, something. I know.
And the interesting thing is, it fits both so perfectly. So,
well, there are two, and there are two pieces of this. That and the car chase scene.
Oh yeah,
the music for that just awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was intense. That was the first. That was definitely the first time I'd ever done anything like that. And I mean, I did everything for it. It's like all those drums. That's me on a keyboard going. I'm trying to play punk rock drums on a keyboard, playing as fast as I possibly can. But whatever, we got there. I got done in 2 weeks, and so we went to the debut. And I will say I haven't even talked to Robert about it, but the debut, because they were trying to get it done in 2 weeks.
Right.
Man, my soundtrack was mixed so low, so I was super disappointed in the overall volume of the music. But I've rewatched the movie for this podcast, and I think they fixed it. So I was pretty happy that I could actually hear my music. There's a happy ending for a movie where a bunch of people die and then are cannibals.
Yes, so. Well, as one would be. No,
yeah.
So, let me ask you. So, did you? I mean, when they're telling you here, we need music for this. I mean, how loose or how confined were you? In terms
what kind of direction did you get? Yeah.
I was told they want rock and roll music.
Did they share any of the scenes with you, or did they?
They send me the basically the raw cut of everything. So it's just that's very interesting trying to do the music for, because sound effects are not there. The audio was sometimes really rough.
Oh, okay.
And because they hadn't done the overdubs on it yet, but it was just, here it is, man. Have at it. So I mean, when the movie starts with these zombies, so to speak, in a hospital, and I'm watching this going, what the hell is going on?
The Necro Wars.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, so imagine the viewers watching this, and they don't know what's going on. I had no idea what was happening. I was told I was doing this Sickle movie, and then there's these zombie nurses doing nasty deeds.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
To be fair, I was confused at the beginning of watching it too. I'm like, did I get the right movie? And I clicked it and it goes, it says exit to hell. So I guess I'm in the right place. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm just impressed. I mean, 2 weeks for not really with that little direction.
It'd have been awesome. If you would put like, oh, you want rock music, and then you put like Red Hot Chili Peppers "Hey-O" on there, like instead, like real soft music, like rock music.
California rock surfer.
Yeah, Californication is being played or something. But no, it worked pretty well. For me, I would say the music was the best part of the movie.
Yeah. Oh, I appreciate that.
By far. The chase scene again.
I'm sure you're saying it because I'm here, but...
No, definitely not. Definitely not. The chase scene music was by far the most amped up, exciting part of the movie. No. It's not necessarily a high bar the entire time the film is running, but definitely, I would say... definitely up there in terms of the best parts of the movie, for sure.
I was just going to say, did you get input on... Did you pick the jukebox song that was in the gas station attendance thing, or is that something?
No, there's songs in there like the old timey song. So the scene where Sickle is roughing up the gal who's basically she has her hands tied up on the bar.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
Okay.
Just whenever you hear real rock music, and then the orchestral, the womp womp womp. That was me as well.
Okay.
Nice.
That's very cool. Nice.
So all the string, the weird string work. I mean, it was lucky for me. I had just gotten this for the musicians out there. I had gotten Symphobia, and that was fun, man. It's basically a virtual instrument, and they record all sorts of crazy things of like stingers and strings just going, and you just start mashing on the keys and putting everything together. I was really, really fortunate that I had that. Otherwise, I would have been pretty hosed for some of those scenes.
That's awesome. That's a dream right there, at least for me anyway. That's what I want to do.
Mitch wants to score Exit to Hell 2 whenever that comes out.
Whenever that sequel comes out, I'm ready to help you out, Mike. I'm ready to join Team Awesome for that one. Understudy there. All right, so Nate, tell us a little bit more about this film. Who's in it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so the movie came out in 2013. It is an extremely tight 81 minutes. So you're getting in and out with this movie. On IMDb, it's a 3.5, which is a little low, but it's a low budget movie. The tagline of this movie is "Justice is served." So there's that. It's on Amazon Prime Video, so anyone can watch it. I highly recommend people watch it. As Mike mentioned, the director was Robert Conway. This was his first feature-length film that I could find. He's done.
I think it's actually his second, because he had done a Western before this, but maybe this was his first actual full length.
Yeah, full. Yeah, he had done some shorts before that. So one of the shorts that he had done was the Necro Wars short, which is featured in this movie.
Oh, nice.
At the beginning and on TVs scattered throughout the movie. He's done a movie called The Encounter. He's done 2 Krampus movies.
Krampus, man. Yeah. You don't know Krampus?
Yeah. Krampus the Reckoning and Krampus Unleashed.
Krampus is Krampus snuck his way onto the fantasy footballers, man. I love the story of Krampus. It warms the heart.
Yeah.
Man, if you're not familiar with Krampus, basically it's like the anti-Santa Claus who at Christmas time comes and eats terrible children instead of getting gifts.
I love it.
I feel like he would have been better served instead of like Leprechaun or Chucky on Lisa's fantasy football team.
Oh yeah,
probably Sleeper. Yeah.
I think the Jack in the Box from the latest Krampus movie. That's the way to go.
Oh yeah.
The kidnapping elves from Krampus. You just to throw in there. Great tacklers, for sure. So Robert Conway done all those movies. The main actor in this movie, Sickle, is Kane Hodder, right? Who's, he's in Victor Crowley, the Hatchet movies. He was Jason and Jason X and the last few Jasons.
How do you not lead with Jason? That's an interesting decision.
Yeah, I mean, Victor Crowley is more recent, so he hasn't been Jason for 15 years or so.
He wasn't like the original Jason. He was,
but he's been in a lot of movies.
He was Manhattan Jason in space.
And I wanted to throw this one out because Mitch loves Wishmaster. He was actually in Wishmaster.
Yeah, he's the security guard, right?
And he was a thug in Out for Justice from Steven Seagal. So he's got a career that runs back quite a bit.
Yeah, he does a lot of stunts, right?
He was a stuntman for quite some time too. The main actress, I'm using the word actress liberally here, was Tiffany Shepis, Jenna in the movie, stripper / criminal / sister in the movie. She was also in Victor Crowley. She was in the Tales of Halloween anthology, which you can watch on Netflix, which I recommend. And she's on Sci-Fi Channel's 12 Monkeys TV show, and she was in Sharknado 2. So she's been in a bunch of independent.
Nice.
A bunch of independent.
Not a bad list.
Yeah. She's been in a lot of independent films, over like 100 and some independent films. And some of them have really great names. And I wanted to read a couple for you guys because these names are absolutely ridiculous. She's in a movie coming out this year called Killer Kate with an exclamation point. That's great. Psychotronic Fiction, the movie.
The movie?
She-Wolf Rising, Dr. Spine, A Beer Tale, Dropping Evil, The Mountain Mafia, a movie that's just called Outtake Reel, God Killer, Walk Among Us, Neo Wolf, Bonnie and Clyde vs. Dracula, in which she is Bonnie, so that's good.
I mean, I'm in for that one.
And Hoodoo for Voodoo.
Ooh.
Those are all movies that she has featured in. So check out that back catalog.
A few future episodes there.
Yeah. Clearly Bonnie and Clyde versus Dracula.
Yeah, it's like the Pride and Prejudice versus zombies of the 1920s or something. Oh, there's more. Oh crap, I missed them. Whatever. There's plenty. And then I mean, I guess I wrote down the first user review that's on IMDb for this movie says not completely terrible. Yeah. So right. 5 out of 10, not completely terrible. There you go.
Honestly, the best part of the movie, which during you played that montage. Did you cut that montage up?
No, I think that's actually just the trailer.
Oh well, I was going to give you credit for that.
I as much as I'd love to take it, it's not me.
When they played the line of the gas station guy talking about the interstate, that's my favorite line in the whole movie, and that guy is like my favorite part of the movie.
Me too.
Oh, definitely.
Apparently, that was just like some dude they found.
What?
Really?
Yes. That was just some random guy when they were out in the town they were recording. He came out. So I was like, he is freaking incredible.
He's the breakout star of the movie.
Yeah. Oh, by far.
I know. And he was just some guy.
Oh, wow.
He was the most relatable character of the movie by far.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
So when they said we have to beat the heck out of you, he was just like, yeah, cool, whatever.
Oh, he's like, it's the best I've had in years.
in a town of shirtless guys, this guy stood out as the shirtless guy. That is like, this is the head shirtless guy of this area.
The Mortiest Morty of the
Mortiest Morty. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's great.
And that guy's chest hair is. I can't even describe that guy. It is like it's like thicker up near his neck than like down. Man, this guy had it all going for him. I don't know.
Natural protection
against sickles. Yeah, that totally works out. Oh, that was crazy.
I don't really. I'm struggling with how to really start with this review. I guess let's start with just some of your favorite scenes. We can go around. So,
I mean, one thing I would say about this is that the opening scene is basically in a strip club. Well, you have the opening sequence, and then some criminals die at the hand of Sickle, and then basically you start in a strip club. And these strip club scenes are, I would say, awkwardly long. I don't know if anyone else agrees.
Dude,
yeah.
So like very long. They're holding the camera on this for quite some time.
Yeah.
You scored that part though, right?
I was going to jump in here. Yeah, I did. And there is when the club starts, there was they put some other song over what I had done, but there's the scene. So I mean, I had even more. It just goes on forever. But the scene when Tiffany, the main actress, comes out. I mean, I'm playing like this blues riff for 25 freaking minutes of like, all right, man. I mean,
are you getting tired at this point? Like you're always like, all right, we
You think you're tired? Think about the stripper, man. Come on, it'll go forever.
And I mean, like, I'm up at like 12:30 at night trying to score this scene, just imagining me sitting awkwardly with my guitar and my wife coming into the room, seeing what I'm doing.
This is for work, right?
I'm like, no, they're paying me to do this.
As long as you're not playing like a bow chicka wow, other than that, I guess you're probably fine.
It was kind of like that.
But that scene is just scene's long. It's a long scene.
I know I wrote a note and I was just like, we're still here. It's like
we're still
20 minutes.
We're still here.
You know why?
This chick's like, Can I stop now? Can I really? Is this still happening?
It's because they're playing the long con.
Yeah, it was.
That's why it was so long.
So you're saying it was a story setup to lull you into a false sense of security.
You got to set up the stripper, the DJ, the bartender.
She works.
Yeah.
She works hard for the money.
They established themselves in that club before they ripped off the Russians.
I was just disappointed in the DJ stripper voice.
Like, it was bad. It was bad.
No one was believably going to hire that guy.
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah.
These are the things I pay attention to in these movies. What else?
I know. Hold on, Mitch. Now that you opened this Pandora's box, what is your stripper talking voice? Like, okay, there's a stripper.
Well, there's a reason why I got hired for one.
Say there's a stripper named Jenna. Just randomly. How are you setting this up?
The stripper's name was Mystique.
Sure. All right. Set up Mystique. How would you set up Mystique?
You put me on the spot.
I am putting you on the spot. Yeah.
And coming up on the center stage, it's Mystique. I mean,
that's better.
Still better.
That's not bad.
Not good.
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah.
I don't need that to be your plan B, Mitch.
He's been working on that in the mirror for a really long time that we don't know about. But I was
prepping. Just
yeah. But then I guess so that scene is awkwardly long to lull you into a false sense of security. Yeah. Then I would say a tactically coordinated assassination.
Yeah.
Of basically dozens of people.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, in the safe in the back, there was like $100.
They're like, oh, that money's so huge, but it was all ones.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh shit, we fucked up.
The stack of money was not convincing enough for me for these four people to have just murdered 25 people.
And the thing about that is they don't feel bad about it or talk about it in any way.
And
afterward.
He gives 2 stacks of hush money to the other stripper. Like, that was like half of the money.
They didn't need a lot for where they were going, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
What exchange
they're going to Mexico. Maybe they're
Redstone.
They checked the conversion rate of the currency before they left, and they were like, you know what, we can afford to drop some of this.
Fine.
And but I guess maybe that scene's being overlooked because that scene unwittingly was his doom.
Yeah.
Or it was the group's doom, because if he had not befriended that lady, that professional,
yeah,
then the Russians would never have known where he was.
Yeah.
So he gave away 50% of the cut, and then he got everyone killed.
Yeah. This guy
was only give away 10% of your cut.
Well, this guy was the quote unquote ringleader and seemed to never have control of anything that was happening ever.
No.
And they basically they robbed from Yakov Smirnov, which the guy's name was Yakov, might as well be. And their plan is, let's get the guy who's driving drugs and then all fall asleep and just hope everything works out. Like, hope we're in Mexico. That was the whole plan.
Well, you at least knew he was going to be awake.
Sure, that's true. I mean that's true. Yeah, I just wouldn't trust that guy. This guy's a bad leader. Was his name Travis? Was that his name?
Yeah.
He was very, very tired from all of the shootings.
Well, we don't know how long. Look, it looked like they legitimately were working long shifts too before this.
Yeah,
putting the time
maybe that's why Travis he'd been working a long shift.
Like, he probably started at noon and someone didn't call in or something.
Noon?
He probably put a double shift before this all went down. So he's just like, I got to keep the cover up.
Oh my god!
Like, he just needs lozenges. That's why his voice is so bad. I don't know. One can only speculate. Real quick, we did gloss over the intro that happened right before this. However, it does the Grindhouse style intro to characters.
Yes, of course.
Two of the ones that I saw that I loved was Watch Out for the Whitens, and then Keep 'Em Coming. It's Boris.
Yeah,
and I laughed so hard at Boris. And Boris, I wish had a longer life. Sadly, he ate it pretty early on.
Yeah, the two intro characters were like I just called Breaking Worse. So not Breaking Bad. He was just worse than that.
Yeah.
And then he was like the guy with the beanie. And then there's another guy who's like the wussiest criminal in the history of Earth.
Yeah.
Like, he kept going like, "Are you sure you know you're driving, man? Like, we shouldn't stop." Like, he was always like, this guy was like the worst criminal I think I've ever seen in a movie ever.
Yeah.
He was terrible.
Yeah, poor instincts to finally like try to change it up at the end there.
Yeah, and then he's like, you know what, I'm really wussy, but I see this guy with this weird chest hair in this town with this gas station. Let me just try to rob that guy randomly too. Like, you keep going to the well too many times, it doesn't work out.
Yeah. Lisa, was there a scene that stood out to you a little bit more in this movie?
That's a good question. I don't know. I just like at one point, is it someone is driving and they're like, you're going the wrong way. Mexico's that way. And then it got me to thinking, which way are they driving? Like, if they're supposed to be,
they were
I
in
guess
Phoenix.
they were
in Phoenix. They started in Phoenix.
That's right. Okay. So I just couldn't figure out the orientation.
He goes south.
South is that way, and he was pointing to his left.
Okay.
So we can figure this out. So then he must have been heading west, right?
So he was going straight to Cali, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, was this guy using Apple Maps? I mean, what's happening here? I mean,
they did not have. There was flip phones going.
Yeah, there were flip phones.
That's
true. Apple Maps.
This guy was playing Snake the whole time instead of checking where he was
They
going.
would have had to jump on the AOL dial-up and print the map quest. But they were too busy for MapQuest. It was just try and go south. But
right.
Failed. Killing people is exhausting. I mean, I'll give you that part for sure. I mean, that was rough. Another scene that was interesting was basically the Texas Chainsaw Massacre dinner scene.
Oh yeah, with JR.
Yeah, you had Sickle, his wife. Is that his wife?
No, it's the mom.
It's his mom.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, and then his son, right, Junior.
Mm-hmm.
It's either his son or his brother. I don't know, because the lady was her character was Mama.
Yeah.
He wasn't Junior. He was just JR. Important distinction.
Who knows?
Maybe he grows up to be the JR from WWE fame. Who knows? I don't know.
Wow, that would be
Jim Ross.
Yeah. I was like, Raver just eating like, oh, good God, this is great.
You're
killing him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you forked him in half. I got you. Yeah,
this lady's a slobber knocker. I don't know. It could have been anything.
Wow. But that scene was probably the most disturbing scene in the movie. Like I said, it does call parallels to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where the family's eating, the person at the table, and he like force feeds her, person. That was gross. I mean, that was really where it got into the deep, this is deep horror, disturbing, area, which I wish the movie would have done more.
It reminded me a little bit more of Eli Roth Thanksgiving that he did on the Grindhouse movie.
Yeah, the fake trailer. Yeah, sure.
When the pilgrim puts the turkey on the table. It kind of
and it's the person.
But yeah, it's the person. Well, the head's off somewhere else.
Well, white meat, dark meat, all was carved in this movie. So technically, you are correct.
No.
Wow, I didn't think about that at all.
So, what about any favorite deaths in this movie that you enjoyed?
Yeah, Mike. What's a death that really stuck out to you?
Oh man, my favorite death in the movie. I would actually my largest complaint for a horror movie is that you had key characters that just it was quick, like the Travis, that ringleader.
Yeah,
I mean he ate it fast.
Yeah.
Basically, Sickle pops in and is like, "Hey, you're dead," and then he just guts him. But I was the one death that is standing out into my head is Jenna. She gets the classic running for her life, and another couple who have committed high crimes against humanity. Yeah. They're driving into this town. Somehow this town just gets all the criminals, and this couple, they end up fighting. But of course, this fighting is resolved by some hanky panky going on in the car, and it just turns into Jenna getting run over, and then she's the shot of her behind the car. I think is pretty iconic. But
yeah.
The roadkill.
And then Sheriff Sickle's like, well, I'm a stickler.
Don't worry about it.
I'm a stickler for the rules, so I got to give you a citation. What?
Yeah.
What?
The fact that that scene was pretty good, but they really needed him to just write them a ticket. Yeah, like a hand and be like, you guys are speeding. They needed to complete that scene.
Yes, I agreed. Yeah. What about you, Mitch? What was your what stuck out to you?
The Russians that when they're beating up Mortis, I think is the character we were talking about. The guy.
That's the greatest character of all time.
Yes.
Yeah, Morden.
And
that guy's the man.
They're beating him up, right? And then the one dude just gets a harpoon right in the chest. I was like, pretty sweet. Because really, up to this point, one of my frustrations with this movie, I've said on the show before, I like grindhouse style stuff. I'm usually I feel like I'm a grindhouse apologist on the show, but I like the campy over the top gore. In this case, so many of the deaths were like you see them kind of start to stab him, they cut, and then
it cuts to a thing,
weird random,
and then it cuts back,
grainy off-cut thing. I get why they did it, but at the same time, it just kind of took it out of me. This one's the only first death you really see where, oh man, he literally got killed. They got punctured by a whole harpoon.
So you want more harpoonings, is what you were saying.
Well, then one guy's head gets sliced off. Yeah, I mean, it was, the practical effects were well done at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, these Russians really were just basically fodder at that point.
Well, they're just shooting into the random, open air. Yeah. I know, but the harpoon scene was, I thought that
harpoon? Okay. What about you, Lisa? What
I got to agree. When they come in and take out the Russians, the main reason that I thought it was the best is because I was starting to get nervous for the gas station guy. I didn't want him to die. I was like, it's getting perilously close. He can't die.
What about every other character? You didn't care when they died, but you cared about
No.
Look, this guy, to be fair, this is the only guy that, isn't really being a dick. He's just getting harassed by all these people. It doesn't even let him phase him.
Well, is he not doing anything wrong? Because he basically has like a bank teller call the sheriff will murder people button.
Well, everyone keeps interrupting his personal time. So
and they're all, yeah.
Hold on, I wrote down the name of the What was the name of the magazine? Hold on, I wrote this down somewhere here.
He had a very particular
Big Girls magazine.
Yeah. No. That's the one.
It was like the Simpsons. It's Willie telling Bart, look, use your shitting to contact me, except between 5 and 6. That's Willie's time.
Yeah.
Respect personal time. That's all. That's all you got to do. Nate, did you have a favorite death scene in this?
The scene that was the most ridiculous to me was, other than the scene with the eating, which that was gross. But the scene where the Russians go after, what was her name? Tiffany?
Yeah.
Penny.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. The blonde girl.
There's Penny and the hippie guy. I don't know his name, but I'm going to call him hippie guy. They're in their random apartment. She's the one who gets half of the money. And then they keep shooting the hippie guy, in the legs.
Right.
That was brutal. And he's not really doing anything other than feeding a mouse to a snake. Other than that, he's not really doing anything.
He's being a coward. He's like, whatever happened between you two has nothing to do with me. And then they shoot him again.
And then a bullet's got something to do with his leg again. And then it's like, damn. But that was kind of brutal because they were obviously torturing them to get the information. And then Travis calls her on the payphone after numerous dials. I'm glad this guy's got quarters. The one time he thought ahead was to bring quarters in the whole movie, I guess. And then, of course, that unwittingly leads them to... And the town is Redstone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. And we're saying Redstone, California.
No, it's Arizona.
Oh, it's Arizona.
Is it Arizona?
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely Arizona.
Okay.
They're on Arizona Route 69, man. Come on. Nice.
Oh.
So they don't even make it out of the state.
They couldn't even.
Jeez.
The Russian, during that scene where you're talking about with the hippie, is very presumptuous because he calls Penny and he's like, hey, we're here. And he barely gets to say where they are. And then the Russian just grabs the phone and hangs up. What if she didn't get what he said? You got to let him talk for a little bit longer. You get some more information.
Yeah.
I had assumed that he heard what what Travis had said, but then he's like, wait, what did they say? And I was like, what the heck?
No, he thought they got it, then he looked, they're like, oh, were we supposed to write that down?
Yeah, the Russians are like, damn flip phones. What are we supposed to do with this? This is terrible. I don't know.
Nothing yet? Nope. All right, well, yeah.
Not a good bad guy.
No.
I just assumed that the little brother could get them out of the state. You know, I was like, he can at least get them to California. No, the brother can't even do that. They're still in Arizona. That's crazy. No. Wow. That's nuts.
Any other scenes you want to talk about before we go to our next segment?
Maybe I just want to highlight the scene where Tasha, right, was basically tortured-ish.
With the overly religious.
There's like overly religious.
Yeah.
I guess that's what Arizona sounds like. I don't know. I haven't been in.
It's what it sounds like.
Okay, that's what. Okay, we got confirmation.
That's the soundtrack of our life.
Wow. All right. No, but there's that, which is ominous. That's good. Yeah. So then, basically, the Sheriff Sickle. Of course, slashes her top off. It's Grindhouse. You got to see.
It's so unnecessary.
It is unnecessary. Of course, it's very unnecessary. And then he kills her so fast. Again, like you were mentioning, like these kills are a little too quick. There's not quite enough going on, like to keep the tension. It's just like 1 second and then they're dead. Yeah. So, but it was at least interesting for the religious overtones in the radio cut in the background, which kind of made it ominous. Which at least better than when Travis walked in like 3 steps and was dead. At least it was better than that. So
how much screen time did Kane Hodder get on this movie?
5 minutes.
I feel like he was only on for
maximum.
5 minutes. He was just there to just slice someone, and then he had like another like Comic-Con or
the longest scene he was in was maybe the dinner scene, like continual screen time, but it was only a few minutes. Is my guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
but he's top billing, so whatever, man. Keep getting them checks.
Yeah. Lisa, any last thing on this one? All right. Well, Mike, if you have anything else you want to talk about on the review part, otherwise we'll move.
No, man, let's move on.
Let's move on to the next one. So, I guess really my question for all of you is, what all would you have done differently?
Son of a bitch, you left the bodies and you only moved the headstones! You only moved the headstones! Why?
Okay, so Lisa, you're in this situation. You're any of these characters in this movie. What do you do differently?
I think we already talked about it. I'm gonna update my TomTom. Get a new one.
Get it offline, huh? Yeah.
You and I drove through Arizona.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you fill up your gas. Okay. You make sure you got snacks and water in the car. You prepare better. Yeah. You just
no reception. The cell phones didn't work.
True. And the time zones got really confusing. But
you want but you're going to use the TomTom offline maps.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm going to cache it.
Make sure you cache it.
There you go.
So use the strip club Wi-Fi to download all that first. Then plug it in.
Stock up on the buffet and head out. Yeah.
Your mini USB cord.
There you go.
Plug it into the thing. Okay.
Stock up. Was this a strip club that had a buffet? Did we?
It had to have been. Yeah.
I mean, look at all the 6 customers that were there. I mean, come on. That place was rocking, obviously.
All right. Nate, what would you have done differently?
Oh, man. I went to school in Indiana for college, and my family lived in Austin, Texas. So I used to drive a lot, like long distances, overnight, back and forth and stuff. Before you drive anywhere, plan your route out, man. These people clearly did not plan their route out. They got stuck on Arizona Highway 69. Nice, great, but not where you want to go. Right. So the downside, mostly a downside.
Right.
So, I mean, you got to plan your route out, have a map, talk about the plan beforehand. They clearly coordinated when they were going to murder dozens of people, but not how they were going to get away. So, it's just bad planning. So I just planned my route a little bit better.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Mike, you're any character in this movie. What do you do differently?
Yeah, I'm similar to the planning the route. It's just you're the leader of the group. You need to stay awake for the drive. You don't just say, "Hey, the drug addict, loose screw of our group, we're going to put him in charge of navigation." You have a respect. You're the CEO of this group.
And he was in the navigation. He was in the navigator seat.
Yeah, he's in a shotgun.
Yeah, he was in a shotgun. Yeah.
He needs to have the map out. I mean, take responsibility. Grab some Red Bulls. Grab whatever narcotic your driver is on.
Yeah, share it. Sure.
You need to stay awake, man, and because everything is avoided if you just stay awake. And you know what's funny is I was reminded as you were talking about the massacre at the strip club is the not the participants. What am I thinking? The patrons. Mm-hmm. The patrons of the club who are just they're there. And one of them gets a high heel right in the eye.
Oh, that's right.
To his death. You're like, what? Why'd you kill that guy?
You didn't tip enough. Yeah. Boom. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
And then, I mean, everything goes chaotic and everyone's getting killed. And then Travis, the leader, is super pissed off at the brother, at the driver. You're like, well, why don't you talk to the lady in the back who high-heeled an innocent bystander right in the face?
Well, actually, you bring up a great point because
have accountability.
Yeah. They said that they've been running jobs from New York all the way to Arizona.
Yes.
Yeah. First of all,
this is not their first job.
The way they've been running this crew, there's no way they got that far. I was surprised they got through one of these, much less a million. Yeah, that's if we get the blind luck award for this group or something, man. That's shocking.
Blind luck, was that a
well, because she stabbed him in the eye.
Was that Martin Short?
No, I was going because
Short. Danny Glover.
Yeah, right.
Gets stung by the bee in the helicopter, whatever. Yeah. Oh,
but yeah, I mean, there's no way this group lasts that long. That's shocking. Yeah, that's probably the most ridiculous. That's the most unbelievable part of the movie, probably. All right, what about you, Mitch?
What do I do differently?
Yeah,
I think if I'm the
other than make the score louder.
If I'm the Russian kingpin, maybe I don't stress over the $100 they stole, or I mean, they clearly went to the bank earlier and deposited whatever cash or laundered whatever cash was in there.
Yeah,
because there's nothing in there. Maybe I just. No, you got me, and then I just let it go.
Hey, you don't become a rich Yakov Smirnoff by getting money stolen from you.
Well, send a goon to go handle it. You know.
Okay, so delegate.
Okay, let's follow there. Delegate. You know.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'd be. All right. So our next segment is just if you had to make Exit to Hell 2, what would it be?
Because let's face it, baby, these days. You gotta have a sequel.
Nate, yeah. Okay, so pitch me the sequel. What's the sequel to this movie?
Exit to Hell 2. Highway to Hell. Obviously. That's I'm gonna go with that.
That's what you're
Yes, I'm going with Exit to Hell 2, Highway to Hell. One. Obviously the start of this movie is ensuring Mike is back scoring the soundtrack. Obviously,
exactly.
First line of business is that. But no, I mean you have the premise of the movie already there. Anyone who goes in this town is basically a criminal that the sheriff will murder. I mean, could you do a movie about? I mean, okay, I guess this is a question for everybody. Who is this sheriff's boss? Like
he is the boss. What do you mean?
No, but he's the sheriff. But like the sheriff isn't like the highest ranking law officer in his area, is he?
It's not. I thought when you're in a podunk town, the sheriff is he is the law. I am the law.
Nice.
You delivered your lines better than King Hodder did, but I'm wondering, like, who's responsible for this guy's like sensitivity training? Like where is this guy going for his where is he getting his body cam? Like where is this guy going?
Justice is served, man. He handles it when people are criminals.
Yeah, he just handles it.
He eats them. That's how you get rid of them. You eat them.
That's true.
I would.
Okay, so Exit to Hell 2, Last Supper. That's my name. I'm changing it. Last Supper.
So I'd go a different way. Okay. I would have a super group form.
Oh,
okay.
God,
I would have Sickle. His brother, Sid Sickle.
Sure. We see the brother at the very end.
The guys from Hills Have Eyes. And
so you mean the town folk of this town?
Yeah.
Because they're basically the same people.
And then they just become border patrol, and it's just Exit to Hell,
Ice Baby,
Exit to Hell, Justice League, boom.
Wow, that is frightening.
Thank you.
There's 4 lines of dialogue in the movie you just proposed. Like, no one is saying lines in that movie.
None needed.
Wow.
None needed.
Okay.
Mike, if you had to pitch a sequel, what would your sequel be?
All right, if I had to pitch a sequel, it would be a family feud between the aforementioned Sid Sickle and Sickle. I don't know.
He illegally changed his first
Sheriff
name to
Sickle. Sheriff Sickle.
Sure. What did that say? He's not actually a sheriff. He just named himself that.
And the sheriff was with a CH for some reason. Like that sounds totally reasonable for this town.
It's pronounced sheriff. But I have them. They turn into 2 feuding families and just hundreds and hundreds of hapless bystanders and collateral damage involved in the feud and the war. Okay. So that's where I would go with it.
Nice. Wow. Well, there's got to be some sort of Exit to Hell 2 Hammer and Sickle.
Oh.
There's got to be a way to make that work.
Except they killed all the Russians.
Oh shit. No, the Russian. No. Yakov Smirnov was just the tip of the iceberg. And then the other Russians come running into the town. Yes.
This movie is it's got these rich undertones of capitalism versus communism.
Yes, of course. Yeah. That would be awesome.
Solid. I would pay to see that.
I would too. Wow.
All right, guys. With that said, we're gonna move to our last segment.
Final cut.
The final cut, where we give our rating out of 10 on whatever rating scale you want to give it. So I'll kick it off for Lisa. So Damien.
Damien was calling telepathically.
Summoned her. So she wanted me to let everyone know that she gave it 4 out of 10 guitar riffs. She said
4. What the hell?
She gave it a 4 mainly for the soundtrack and the gas station attendant. Otherwise, no thanks. But to be fair, that's Lisa answering for all the people who hate horror movies. That's her
true.
role. So
that's true.
A 4 is actually a decent rating.
It could be something like the soundtrack is 8 and the movie's 0. It averages to a 4.
What is happening? Soundtrack is 10 out of 10. I'm going to storm out of here.
Well, the soundtrack was a 10, but it was a 6 for the mixing. See, so then you gotta average it out. You gotta average it out. Yeah,
that's fair.
Mike, what do you give? Now you're
biased here,
biased
so yeah,
unbiased. But where would you stick this movie?
I would give it a. I'll go a solid 3 sickles out of 5. I'm trying
sickle.
3 sickles out of 5 other sickles?
Popsicles.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So out of 10, that would be a 6. You'd be a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, popsicles are very valuable.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Solid.
Yeah, so like I said, so I'll give the pluses and minuses in my head here. I like the music. I'm not just saying that. The music was definitely a driving force for some of the best scenes of the movie. No. I like that. The name Sickle is pretty great.
Yeah.
That's a great name for it. I think they probably started with like, all right, we gotta give this guy Sickle, and then the rest of the movie probably came after that, which is fine. That's great. The dinner scene was very Texas Chainsaw Massacre-esque and disturbing, and really got more into the horror part of the Grindhouse movie that this was. So I like that. There were a couple of funny lines. Negative, the rest of the lines, maybe. The dialogue wasn't super great. The post-credit sequence with the younger brother getting picked up by the brother of Sid Sickle was pretty great too. I like that. But I really didn't care for the characters. The stripping was too long, which normally, I mean, let's be honest. What guy's going to say, oh, the stripping was too long? Me. Because that's how long it was. Like, it was long. And then what was crazy is like the camera filters in the movie that kind of switched over from being like really, really like saturated to like normal to then back. And that was kind of nuts. So I'm going to give this 3 out of 10 family dinners.
Swanson's or
no, it's more fresh than that. It's a fresh home cooked.
I like it. Best barbecue you've had.
Barbecue, yes, it's great barbecue.
I'm probably right around with y'all. I as I said before, I like the grindhouse style. I just had some issues with the editing on some of the major kill scenes. Again, I think like you kind of mentioned, they were just too fast. They just kind of happened. It's like all right, so it never really kind of pulled you into it. Obviously, we've said the soundtrack's great. I did enjoy some of the. Truthfully, I wish I had gotten more. I wish I'd gotten more of the Necro Wars. I was I was actually very involved. I got involved more in that than I did about these criminals running around. I was like, what are the Necro Wars? Why is he in the hospital? Where are all these nurses? Did they decide to have the fishnets before or after they became the Necro nurses? These are questions the people want to know.
Do you put
Why
on fishnets?
Is there zombie coitus happening?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, zombie sex happens in the first minute and a half of this movie?
Yeah,
right. That's roughly how fast that happened.
My question: usually, was this like were they doing this and then they turned zombie, or they made the choice after being a zombie?
They were having sex, got turned into zombies, and then kept having sex.
I'll be honest. That's the first zombie intercourse I've ever seen.
I think so.
Yeah, it might be.
Wow.
So you
went Exit to Hell to the Necro Wars,
basically.
Okay. Wow.
The Necrophiliac Wars.
It doesn't need to be all that one scene, but yeah, sure.
You know what? And the Necrophiliac Wars, both sides win.
Nice.
Well,
man.
All right, so my rating I'm gonna get 4 out of 10 harpoons.
Nice. Okay.
So awesome. All right, well, great. So that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. I guess I want to say first off, thank you, Mike, for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah. And then, for all you listeners, you can catch Mike on Twitter at FFHitman. You can also catch him with his co-hosts Andy and Jason on the Fantasy Footballers. You can go to their website at thefantasyfootballers.com. You can also check them out on iTunes and on Spotify, I believe, as well, right?
Yeah, and it's Apple Podcasts, my man. You got to get your verbiage correct, or Apple's gonna get pissed.
Yeah.
Apple's gonna get you.
Apple's going to we are Apple Podcast.
Yes.
We'll edit that in post, make it sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't do this part. This is where Nate usually fills in for me. So Nate, where can they find us?
So you can find us if you want to watch Exit to Hell on Amazon Prime Video and talk to us about it. You can tweet us at TXPodMassacre. You can check us out at our website, TexasPodcastMassacre.com. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and Spotify as well, and all your other podcast platforms.
Awesome. All right. Well, from all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, thank you so much for tuning in, and just keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Good night.